going to do the little piano thing. 1, 2, 1. know what you're going to get, right? You got a little bit of a behind-the-scenes look at one of our practices. We know this one.
All right. Standing outside the door of love and mercy, you wonder if there's a place there for you. You know there's peace inside, and still you're searching for someone who understands the pain you've been through. Where the Father waits with open arms, He's calling out your name. Come on in, welcome home, you are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in, come on in. You'll find a place of rest and illumination where God within you helps you to light your way. He knows the peace you need from the hurt you're feeling. He longs to hold you and to wipe your tears away. Where the doors are locked, the lights are on. What are you waiting for? Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in. Where there's room enough in this home of love for someone just like you. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in, come on in. All right, good morning, Unity Temple. Thank you for singing it with us.
Good morning, everyone. Are there any new visitors? Anyone here for the first time? Wonderful. Isn't that amazing? Rain, sleet, hail. Nothing kept them from joining, being posted right here at Unity of Tampa. So welcome everyone else too. I'm Pat. Thank you. I'm replacing, Lewis has had a little something to do this morning, so we're trading Sundays. And so announcements. So if you need to know anything about Unity, new people and old people too, and all those in between people, you can look at the Sunday bulletin, our email newsletter, the Facebook, the website, check in on social media. Hi there out in cyberspace. And now, please, silence your cell phones. You don't have to do that, cyberspace. But right here, silence your cell phone. And okay, on the third Sunday of the month after the service, we have Grief and Recovery Support Group led by Jan Cohen, and that's today. Thank you, Jan. Meeting in here in Fellowship Hall because we're doing a party. We party over there. Soul Sisters, another wonderful group with Gilda Suarez, a women's support group. They're reading a book, Awakening Your Right Mind, and it's this coming Saturday, February 24th. So, yes, our annual meeting. Drum roll, we get to find out more about what's happening here. I just love it. So next Sunday after the service, please stay, and members, you get to vote. And if you're not a member yet, just join us. Join the members. Become a member, and then you can vote with us. Community action. Hope Justice Ministry teams assembling Monday, February 26th from 6:30 to 8. And is that going to be there or here? Where? Oh. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Yeah. It's one of our community groups.
Is it the Clamor Church? Offhand, I've got it in this paperwork. Okay. But, let me find it, and then I'll give it, you can give it at the end or something. Okay, perfect. Sorry, Pat.
No problem. That's good. All right. Vision teams. And we're having Janice come and tell us all about it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So
Teamwork.
it is teamwork. We are teamwork. So I'm Janice Thomas. I'm one of the board members, and for those of you who I haven't had a chance to meet, and I help Reverend Nancy with our vision teams. And for you newer folks who might be saying, well, what are vision teams? It's sort of part of our grand plan as a mission-centric church where we give opportunities for anyone and everyone to get involved with what's exciting that we can do as an organization, as a church. What can we do to sort of help see a vision for our future, right? So hence vision teams. And so if you are currently part of one of our vision teams, would you please stand up just to show the scope of this to our organization? Yeah, we have so many. Congratulations and thank you. Thank you all. It is such an exciting opportunity. And because it's 2024, to our online folks, we actually would like to offer the opportunity for you to participate in one of our vision teams now. We are coming up on a meeting that we do every 2 years where we bring all the vision teams together. And if you are interested in joining twice a year, I'm sorry, that's what I meant to say, I don't know what came out. But our next meeting with our All Vision Teams group will be on Sunday, March 3rd, right after church. And if you're new or you've been thinking about how do I get involved at Unity of Tampa, that would be a great time to come to that meeting because you can sort of browse around. We're going to sort of create tables in here and the teams will be sitting together and you can see it if there's a team that interests you. We would love to have everyone join a team who's interested. And if you're online, we're not going to let distance be a problem. We're going to send out a link. We'd be happy to have you at the larger meeting and then even provide links to sort of the small team meetings as well. So whether you're online or can be here, we would love for you to be here on March 3rd. And also, there will be a free lunch served, so just come on, stay for that team meeting and enjoy a nice lunch together. So real quickly, the teams include Ambassadors Hospitality, Care Team, Community Outreach, Earth Care, Facilities, Garden Angels, and Socialites. And each team has a team leader and a board member who's a liaison. But wait, there's more. Thank you. We're actually recreating an 8th team, and I would like to talk for a moment about it because I'm the board liaison for that group, and I would love to work with some of you on a new team we're calling the Growth Team. It used to be called Growth and Marketing, but we're just going to focus on growth. So if you have a little bit of salesmanship in you, or you like to connect the dots and look at big picture and say, oh, here's some things we could talk about or we could advertise, it's sort of the inspirational part. And then we're going to work with an outside marketing firm on how to fulfill that strategy and what to market. So we'll figure out the what, and they'll figure out how. So if you just want to help sort of create what that message could look like, please come on the 3rd, and I'll be sitting at that table, and I hope I won't be by myself. and that's it. So thank you very much, and I appreciate your time.
Good team leadership. All right, so join the teams. As the ambassador, my twin out there, Julie, and I are looking just alike today in our red and black. So Julia, raise your hand. That's who you ask if you want any question asked about unity. Okay? All right, we're at the birthdays. Yay, birthdays. We have Georgette Stowe on the 22nd. Are there any other people that have a birthday next week? Or we missed your birthday? Okay.
All
Wow.
right, we'll sing to Georgette at least. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, God loves you. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. How about a thank you to Pat and Janice? Janice, I appreciate you taking charge. So good morning. So I'm so glad you joined us this morning and you didn't let the rain stop you. I know it's a little big, lot of puddle over there, but don't forget fixing that driveway over there is part of what we voted on. So it will be leveled soon and fixed and within 7 weeks. And before we get to the summer rain season, that will all right, Jeffrey hates when I give weeks, but it is on, the guy has already scheduled it, so let's see if we can eliminate the rain. But anyway, thank you for coming in today. I know it's dark and dreary out, but it's bright light in here with all of your lovely faces. I have a few quick announcements. One is that next Sunday we're voting on the bylaw changes that the board adopted that Unity Worldwide recommended. We've made our own tweaks to those, but Margaret made copies of the bylaws. We sent out a link so you could view them in advance of next Sunday. But if you have questions and you want to see them, Margaret and Jeffrey, I believe, will be up front. If you would come up front, maybe let's choose that side. Okay. Up front, that direction. Afterwards, they'll be happy to meet with you. And please make sure you do come next Sunday. If you are a member or you're not, you're welcome to come and get those updates Pat was talking about. All right, also, I just want to mention that we were asked, so this is an interesting request, we were asked if people online could see your faces once in a while. So I couldn't figure out how we'd actually do that, but here's the thought, and Linda came up with this. Could you at least on your way out look up above the exit sign, maybe give a wave or something once in a while to the people out there? Because some of them said, I think so-and-so's there, but I only see the back of their head. So anyway, just for that.
Nancy, I thought you were going to say that we were going to bring them onto the platform to sing
Yeah.
the peace song.
You know,
Just
it's
saying.
funny. I did think about should we turn around and sing the peace song, and I run to the other end to do the end prayer. We could do that too, but I think then the band is up here looking at no one. So that's not really fun either. So we'll see if we can try to integrate a little better. All right, with all that said, let's everybody take a gigantic deep breath. So many great things happening here, but let's get into spiritual mode and why we're here this morning now. So join me in saying our unity prayer. There's only one power and one presence in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. Emphasis on God the good. And that's our affirmation, not our prayer. All right, daily word today, folks. Daily word is acceptance. It says, I practice acceptance and find peace. In the peace, I have resisted unwelcome situations and unwanted outcomes. In the past, I have resisted unwelcome situations and unwanted outcomes. Over time, I have learned that my resistance did little more than leave me agitated and unhappy. I've learned to trade resistance for acceptance. Accepting situations as they are does not mean I like what's happening, but it does mean I'm willing to be present to it without resistance and without struggle. From that place, I am better able to work toward creating better conditions for myself and others. When I practice acceptance, I invite the presence of God to inspire and comfort me. I shift my attention from what might feel wrong to that which is always right, the absolute unchanging goodness of God. And from Philippians 4:11, they have in here, not that I'm referring to being in need, for I've learned to be content with whatever I have. All right, let's turn it back over to Elliot. I'm releasing my control to you now.
And I'm going to ask you guys to stand and sing with us one more time. There was a time in my life, I'll let you know, I thought I had to do it all by myself. Well, I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. The love of God was in hand. Now this is what I have to say. And I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, it's only up to God. There's no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, it's only up to God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, it's only up to God. There's no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, it's only up to God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, it's only up to God. There's no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, it's only up to God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, it's only up to God. Thanks for singing it with us.
So thank you for putting that song in.
Yeah, of course.
You guys do a great job. Before I go up to talk about good news stories, we're going to show you one.
Breaking barrier is a veteran in the Bay Area celebrating her honorable discharge from the military.
Yeah, more than 7 decades later, she reflects on when the Air Force became its own branch and her experiences enlisting. UCLA's Alessandra Young has her story.
Meet my friend, Miss Fern. And around 75 years ago, you were honorably discharged from the United States Air Force, right?
Correct.
And not only that, but she was one of the first women to ever be in the Air Force.
Right.
Fern Kenyon was born on a farm in Kansas, knowing she always wanted to do something different.
I was working for as a secretary for a while, and then I read in the newspaper that the Air Force was becoming a separate service.
With a pretty big travel bug and a longing for independence, she walked across the street from her office to the post office to sign up and break the mold.
Signed to go in the Air Force, passed the physical, and found myself soon after on the train to San Antonio.
The 96-year-old vet went through basic training, then officer candidate school, then became a second lieutenant where she traveled recruiting. While overseas, she met the man who would later become her husband.
And this is where, 75 years ago, I was discharged honorably because you could not remain in the military if you were going to have children.
When she first joined, she tells me there was lots of media attention.
It was a challenge to learn about marching and various facets of the military.
And from 1948 to 1955, she proudly served.
I just think that you learn the discipline and the responsibility, but the opportunities that are there are whatever you make of them as you perform your duties.
Fast forward to today. She says the military looks a lot different, but she's proud to have witnessed such a historical shift in the United States Air Force all those years ago.
I'm so blessed in ever so many ways to be able to do different things that I've done in my life.
And Miss Fern tells me, given the choice, she would do it all over again. In Pasco County, Alessandra Young, 8 on your side.
Many of you remember Fern Kenyon, 96 years old, and she watches online every week. And Fern used to be at the old church. She helped in the kitchen. Well, she ran us around in the kitchen. And that story was so honoring. I was so excited for her. Jeffrey and I called her the minute we saw it, very impressed. So God bless you, Fern. She is also our master gardener here. Yes, she works with the garden team still. Yeah, awesome. All right, our second story, not to make it sound smaller. Cypress Creek High School engineering students use classroom skills to help fellow students in need. So right here in Pasco County, just our next county over, Liam DeZanin and Gabriel Link are high school students who can't seem to do things, who can't wait to do things that they learn in their engineering class. So when they saw a fellow student, Liz Valise Ortiz, was in need of a new tray for her wheelchair, it was an opportunity to put their engineering knowledge to the test. Being in a wheelchair, she wasn't able to simultaneously hold anything and wheel herself around. So she was in need of something that could hold things and be her hands while she moved. After more than 2 months of design prototypes, drilling and cutting, they finally had the perfect tray. Liz Valise, who is part of the free and appropriate public education program, receiving professional work skills training at the school cafeteria, says the tray is a huge help to her. I love it. I'm so proud of them. They are my best friends. They are my heroes. Both boys said they've always dreamed of being able to impact their community in the utmost way possible. Liam said seeing her use it and seeing how happy she was to be able to do what she wanted to do really made an impact. Isn't that beautiful? Young people helping young people. I love it. All right, we're going to get ready for meditation. And before that, we're going to sing When I'm Quiet in Prayer.
When I'm quiet in prayer, I open my heart, I open my heart. When I'm quiet in prayer, I open my heart, hallelujah. When I'm quiet in prayer, I let go of fear, I let go of fear. When I'm quiet in prayer, I let go of fear, hallelujah. When I'm quiet in prayer, I see only love, I see only love. When I'm quiet in prayer, I see only love,
And so let's focus on the last words we heard for a moment. When I get quiet, when I'm quiet in prayer, I see only God. So I invite you now to take a few deep breaths. And just as we sang earlier, I release and I let go. And I let Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Because each of us is here to be our divine best in our earthly experience. And we can only do that when we take time to go within and quiet all the intellectual noise that's going on and all the nonsense, the false beliefs. So I invite you now to just listen to the words I'm going to share and take in what's right for you. Let go of the rest. Today, I open my mind and heart to the idea of preparing for my greatest spiritual awakening. Learning to release what may be holding me back. Seeking to achieve the freedom that is mine. Taking time to commune with God, that divine spirit within me that has all the answers I need. My goal in this lifetime is to achieve the freedom that is mine through that communion. What I am and who I am exists not in my ego, but in the divine spirit of my being. At the highest level of thought, I am part of a greater consciousness where transformation of my spirit is simply a matter of faith. Divine thoughts are always tapping at my consciousness in an endless supply, reminding me to take the highest path in every case. And all I need to do is listen. During this season of Lent, I am committed to releasing the painful memories of the past that have been anchored in my consciousness. I recognize that holding on to these emotional hurts, burdens, and self-condemnation is purely self-sabotaging, and it brings nothing good to my life. And storing such memories in my body and my mind prevent my spiritual freedom and block the pathways to my transformation. And so instead, today I begin the process of releasing and letting go, seeking the kingdom of heaven within, knowing that all I ever need will come from living as my spiritual best self, with faith, undying faith. Through that faith, I am empowered and spiritually prepared for my highest good to come forth. And so I rest in the silence now, listening for what is mine to know. So as we quietly and peacefully return to this moment in time, we recognize that at any time we need, we can take a few minutes to quiet our mind and go within and find the peace we need. Everything already exists, and we are centered in peace. Thanks to our amazing staff today, everyone who helps make today possible, and Michael Williams, thank you, and our volunteers in the kitchen and in fellowship hall today. Thank you to everybody. And good morning, young Logan. I hope you're up and paying attention. Big topic for you today. All right, so today's the first Sunday of Lent season, our 40-day journey. We take this very seriously. This is our chance to work on ourselves. And we're 5 days in to the journey of transformation. Many of you picked up your little booklets last week, yes? All right, how many of you wanted one and didn't get one? Okay, I had several people tell me that. There are more out today, so feel free to grab one and follow along on at least the daily prayers that they give you. So I thought it would be important, since most of us grew up in other religions, I thought it might be helpful if we spent a little time trying to understand, what does Lent actually mean? Not only from a religious perspective, but from a unity perspective. What does it mean? So if you grew up in a traditional Christian religion, then you probably were under the impression that Lent was biblically driven, that Lent was something that the Bible taught people to do, and that there were attachments to this. One being the fact that our job was to make sacrifices during Lent. So if your family happened to embrace Lent and that practice, then you probably found yourself giving up things like TV, candy, whatever. Yes? And any bad habits, if you were doing anything bad, you were probably asked to give that up. But then right on the 41st day, you went right back to all those things. Okay, I never understood it. I didn't know why we did it, but I did it. And I usually picked things I'd give up that wouldn't be hard to live without, I'll be honest. But Lent actually, believe it or not, the word does not appear anywhere in the Bible at all. It was institution driven, but there are really good reasons for it. So Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore had a really great understanding of this. And here's what he said. He used 3 stories in the Bible to help us understand why 40 days and what was the point of 40 days. He talked about how in the Old Testament, Moses had gone to Mount Sinai for 40 days waiting for the 10 Commandments. Elijah spoke to God after praying and fasting for 40 days at the top of Mount Horeb. And Jesus spent 40 days in the desert fasting and praying prior to heading to Jerusalem on Palm Sunday. So those 3 stories indicated that 40 days was the right amount of time to establish a new habit. And from a unity perspective, the idea of that 40 days is for us to take time to release everything that has become a burden to us, all of our false beliefs, all of the lies we've told ourselves about what we're not capable of doing, who doesn't love us, why we're not lovable, any of those things, and to resurrect our divine spirit, to become that divine shining light we were born to be. 40 days to remember that we are more than this outer shell that we show to everybody, and that we're understanding of the power that can bring us. One of the best messages in our new Lent booklets makes reference to spiritual surrendering as an act of empowerment. And I love this message from Reverend Teresa Burton. It's on like one of the early pages. She says, it may have been tempting to think of letting go and letting God as giving up and hoping for the best. But that's not what it means. Instead, she said, it is a supreme act of faith. So many people, we've talked about this before, many people are great at having faith in difficult times in their life. When someone's sick, someone is dying, we need instant prayers, our bank account's empty, whatever it might be. We're great at wanting to have faith in those days. But the idea of faith is that it is something like a light within you that says, this or something better. No matter what I'm facing, this or something better. My highest good will come forth if I stop controlling the wheel and I start trusting that something bigger than me that I'm connected to, that beautiful energy of that divine light that we all are part of, that tapestry we belong to as humanity that I was talking about last week, that oneness we share. That's what happens when we go in and we put our light on. We begin to light everything around us. And that's the idea. And while we may not openly admit it, we all know we have laundry lists of what we continue to hold on to from the past. Think about this. Anger, hurt, anxiety, resentment, blame, guilt, shame. And the craziest thing about this is that no matter how much energy we regurgitate, we think this stuff through, nothing changes. The memory still is there until we learn to release it forever and stop carrying it around like a bag of bad goods. We all have our stories. We have all had our triumphs. We've all had our tribulations. But the ones that have held us back become anchors around our ankles, paralyze us in our thinking. And when memories are triggered, the pain of that memory comes rushing forward into our consciousness as though it just happened yesterday because we never let it go. And then we add to it and add to it and add to it, and the story gets bigger and crazier. In the Lent booklet today, it said the message is about letting go of our human ego. And there's a reference to how after Jesus was baptized, he began to let go of his human desires and trust that divine power within him. This is often referred to as enlightenment, and it's intended to help us understand the difference between our need to control things and what divine will is. Remember, God is not outside of us sitting in a magical chair waiting to make decisions about our life. That God center is within everyone, whether they choose to acknowledge it or not. There's an article entitled The Dawning of Awakening that helps us understand our own transformation in thinking. And the article explains how our sense of self was formed and constructed out of ideas, beliefs, and images that do not represent who we truly are. It does not define us. There is no center around it. It's all created by our thinking. And the ego may exist as a series of passing thoughts, beliefs, actions, and reactions, but by itself, it has no identity. So what happens, and stay with me on this, is that when we lose our sense of self in that artificial realm, we think we've lost the whole world as we know it. Oh God, what would I be without my title? Without this, what will I be? But in the moment when you truly, truly surrender in life, and I can tell you it's true, I've been there, I've done it. When you truly surrender to all the crap you have believed, and you let it go, you're in this place of awareness you can't explain to anyone, because suddenly you feel free. What am I without a past? Who cares? That's the truth. If you're not using your past for good, then you don't need it. If it's propelling you forward, then good. Hang on to it. If you want to talk about the good things you've done and the ways you've grown and the joy that you're experiencing and how you got there and it propels you forward, great. But if it is preventing you from one happy day after another, then you have to ask yourself why you continue to carry it. It is literally a shift in our perception, but it is the heart of our awakening. Look, let's be honest about our ego. Our ego wants to remind us of all those past hurts, the shame, the guilt, all of it, because it operates as a mirror of our consciousness. So whatever we are consciously going through or believing about ourselves, our ego's like the boombox. It comes out and goes, and there it was. That's what you said. You said you didn't like that person. There's that person right in your face. Am I wrong? Okay, how many times have you said, oh, I hope I don't bump into so-and-so at that party? And who's the first person you see? Right. Because our consciousness begins to create our reality. So you have to ask yourself, what am I constantly thinking about at that conscious place? And then the ego goes, there it is, you said it. So the programming comes from us. No one's making us think bad things or spew bad things. It comes from us. If our consciousness stays in negative thinking, the ego can only do its part. And here are some examples to help us understand this. So, for example, thinking negative thoughts saying mean things versus seeing the God in that person and finding ways to speak more kindly. Using past hurts to validate why we were victimized versus forgiveness during these 40 days and releasing it. Allowing repeated self-deprecation. I'm not worthy, I'm not worthy, I'm not worthy. Versus seeing that we have our own divine light. I'll never get that job. That person will never call me. I could never date this person. Blah, 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 blah. All that stuff we tell ourselves. Believing we're unlovable versus acting in loving ways toward ourselves first so that other people can see we are loving people. We're great at giving love to everybody else, but where is the self-love? How many times a week have you told yourself, I love me? Raise your hand if you do it more than once. Okay. Raise it if you don't do it at all. Okay. It's not a conscious practice, but it has to become one. No one will see the good in us if we don't see it. That's the truth. Our ego wants us to stay trapped in the laundry list of negative thinking. But we're part of that divine reality that cannot be seen by human eyes. Only faith, only through faith can we live as our divine self. I like to think of it as letting go and simply remembering who we are and who we are capable of being. And that's far more than our ego is going to allow us to believe. Unity Minister Reverend Ken Daigle explains the importance of understanding how our ability to transform requires creating new connections. He said, our connection to the past keeps creating our present. And he said, if you want a new outcome, you must stop being your old self, make new connections within the present. You must align your whole being with your new desires and your intentions in order for that to become your new consciousness. If you want to change your life experience, you have to be willing, he says, to examine your thought patterns and shift them. Notice them and make a conscious shift. You have to let go of who you thought you were. Let go of thinking that's just the way it is for me. Let go of believing I've always been this way and become someone new. There are two Bible verses that Charles had pointed out that reflect this concept. One was from Romans that said, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you may prove what the will of God is, meaning through you, that which is good and acceptable and perfect. And the second one from Ephesians that I love, lay aside the old self, that you be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and put on the new self, which in the likeness of God has been created in righteousness and holiness of divine truth. I like to remind us to see ourselves already where we want to be. That's truly what changed my life. See it, believe it, receive it. You're already there. Whatever it is now, see yourself there and keep working toward that. Our awakening to who we are is when we experience total freedom, pure joy, free from the past, free from negative thoughts, free to be who we were meant to be without holding other people accountable for why we aren't happy and free. At the end of the day, none of us need to climb to the mountain for 40 days to get this. But we have to be diligent for 40 days to actually believe it to own it, and to receive it. And there's no perfect time for spiritual surrender than now. Let's review today's lessons. Letting go begins by practicing the following. Release self-imposed limitations and affirm the possibilities instead. Seek the kingdom of God within. Transformation begins in consciousness. Align your inner self to desires. Maintain faith and see yourself there. Number 4, lose your sense of self and allow your greatness to emerge. Our affirmation today is the same as the song. I release and I let go. Let's say that together. I release and I let go. And our quote is from Reverend Teresa Burton. It says, Lent is an opportunity, an invitation to find the small, the closed, and the limiting beliefs and release them mindfully and with intention, creating space for renewal as the expansive, the unlimited, the divine begin to flourish and lead us back to ourselves. Let's take that in. So we pause now to reflect upon the importance of spiritual surrender, releasing and letting go, trusting that when we do, our best self will come forward. Our divine light will shine brightly. Our experiences will be more meaningful. Our freedom greater. Our joy multiplied. And so we commit to this 40-day practice of letting go of something every single day. Whatever keeps coming up, we target that and we release it. And we let it go. And we recognize the space it creates within us for new experiences and joy. And so it is. Amen. All right, I want to do a shout out to Ada, who's watching online today. Ada, I hope you're continuing to heal. And thank you for a wonderful conversation this week. We also want to keep Walt in prayer for the transition of his father. And I want to remind you, if you have a prayer need, you can put the prayer on the card. There are prayer cards in front of the seats, in the seats in front of you. And there are prayer cards out on the left when you walk out. And if you're online, you can go online and submit a prayer or call the church and leave your request. I also want to thank everyone here for the generosity that continues to pour out. Volunteers, treasures, donations, everything you give and support us to do our work, not only in our spiritual community, but all the work we do in the outer community. We're so blessed. And with that said, let's say our prosperity prayer for our own life and trust that it's just as meaningful whether you say it as I or we say it as we. We have faith in God as our instant, constant, abundant supply and supplier. We have faith in God to open ways when to the human sense there is no way. We have faith in God to guide us in all our ways, and our health, happiness, and prosperity are assured. Thank you, God, for your abundant good, now flowing forth to meet our every need, and so it is. All right, let's bring our children down.
Feeling good, like I should. Went and took a walk around my neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got the sunshine on my Sunday best.
So despite the rainy weather, we had a lot of fun, some high energy that we had going on over there. The teenagers and the older kids discussed the story of young Jesus in the temple when his parents were looking for him, and what it's like when the people around you maybe don't have as much confidence in you as you have in yourself in that moment. The younger kids got to discuss love and what love looks like and feels like in all the different colors. Yeah. So let's bless these kiddos, and then Melody is going to give us a report about the YOU Leadership Retreat. All right. We love you. We bless you. We truly appreciate you. And we behold the Christ in you. We love you. We love you. We really, really love you.
So a couple weeks ago, I went to the Unity Leadership Rally in Jacksonville, Florida, and there were 8 teens, including me and the Regis, who are the teen regional representatives. They plan and run all the rallies. So basically, we talked about all the YOU leadership positions and responsibilities and what the requirements are to be in those positions. Sadly, I can't do much of it because I'm a freshman, but that's okay. Yes. We discussed what it means to be a YOU leader and the different types of ways that people lead and the importance of leadership in YOU. And we did activities to help us work on teamwork, and we got to go bowling, which was really fun. And it was a really great experience, and I got to become really closer with all the people that are there.
Let's go and let God each and every day. Let go and let God close your eyes and pray. If you let go and let God each and every day. Let go and let God, peace will come your way. Your strength is waning, trouble seems so near. It will soon stop raining, dry up every tear. If your faith begins to falter, darkness lingers on, the world will be your altar, and God becomes a song. If you let go and let God each and every day. You let go and let God close your eyes and pray. If you let go and let God each and every day. You let go and let God, peace will come your way. Love is our reply, peace is our suggestion, and God is our supply. Let us keep the moment holy to satisfy our soul. God is the one and only who is in control. If you let go, let God each and every day. You let go and let God, just close your eyes and pray. If you let go and let God each and every day. You let go and let God, and peace will come your way. Peace will come your way. Close your eyes and pray. Thanks. Thanks, everyone. And we'll go ahead, we'll get you guys stood up. We'll sing the peace song and close with the prayer for protection. by day. With God has created family, all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let this begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me.
All right, feel that energy. Come on. We're going to help each other this week by sending lots of positive thoughts. Let's say our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is great. God bless you. Thank you for being here today. Hi, Aurora. How are you?